Hey guys, how's it going? So I just wanted to do a update. I've been in orientation with J&R Schugel, and I wanted to do a video while I was in orientation, but I got a sinus infection, and I still have it, but it's getting a little bit better. That's why I sound all funky, and like my nose is plugged up, because it is. I went through orientation with J&R Schugel. As you can see, there's my truck, and everything's good. For the most part, I like the company. Everything's pretty awesome. There's a couple things I don't like about them, which I haven't heard anybody talk about, which is they have some restricted toll roads, like pretty much the main toll roads through from Chicago all the way over to New York. I-80 and 90 through Indiana, Ohio, and the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and that kind of sucks, but whatever, you can get around them. So, and they got a couple other restricted toll roads, but I'm not going to get into every single one of them, but there's some restricted toll roads. The fueling thing, there was a guy here in orientation that was complaining because basically it's a big boy company, and you got to plan your own trip. And you gotta, plan your own fuel stops based off of the book they give you. They have, certain fuel stops they want you to use. They don't tell you which one to use. They just have a book full of fuel stops, and you can pick one. So, oh crap, it's sunny out here. I can't see the camera or whatever. I'm that way. But so you gotta plan your own trip. They don't give you, a detailed trip or whatever you want to call it. Like some companies, they send you a load, they'll send you your routing, and you have to go exactly how they tell you, and they'll also send you fuel stops along the way, and that's cool if you want to work for a company like that basically you just hold the steering wheel and do what they say. But when you're a truck driver, you should know how to plan your own trip, plan your own route, the best route to go, and plan your fuel stops and things like that, which, that's how we do it here. So, and I told the guy, I was like, it's a big boy company, bro, get used to it. He came from Western Express, or no, not Western Express, sorry. He came from US Express, and he was all upset because they don't, give you a routing and pick your fuel stops for you. And I'm like, dude, really? I'd rather have my own routing and all that stuff, pick my own fuel stops. Screw that. So, I kind of like that. I wish they had more fuel stops, though. It's kind of a pain in the ass. So, whatever. It is what it is. The other thing is that their insurance their family, insurance plan is ridiculously expensive. So, I don't know if it's just because they don't pay any of it and you got to pay the full amount. Most companies will pay a little bit of it and then you pay the rest. Because I had the same exact insurance with my last company, and it was like half the cost of what it is here. So I don't know. So whatever. So I'm guessing they don't pay any of it. You got to pay it all yourself, which is cool. Whatever. That's not a deal breaker or nothing. Whatever. They pay better than all the other companies I found that would let me train my wife. They have a better starting pay and a better team pay for when she does get in the truck. Most of the other ones wanted to pay us shit because she doesn't have any experience. So whatever, And they have the best pay. They have really good reviews and stuff from people that have driven for them and things. So far so good. I got my first load. I was in orientation for basically 3.5 days. On the fourth day, on the third day, at the end of the day, you get your truck and you check out your permit book, make sure everything's on there, make sure you got all your easy pass, pre-pass, your smart, whatever the hell, best pass, whatever the hell it is, and all that good stuff. And you got your load locks. They give you these sheets to go around and make sure there's nothing wrong with the truck. If there's any damage to the truck, you mark it down so they know it wasn't you. If there's anything mechanically wrong with it, mark it down this sheet, go to the shop, they'll fix it before the next day, you know, stuff like that. So, I wish I could have, I wish I had taken the truck on the highway. The only thing that's wrong with my truck, which it's a 2014 Cascadia, Freightliner Cascadia, which I'm not going to be in it very long anyway. They just said they gave it to me for a couple weeks because it needs to go up to our new Ulm yard in Minnesota when they get in some new trucks, and this one's gonna be done. You know, it's got 400,000 miles on it, so they're gonna put me in a new truck, and this one's gonna be, you know, sold or whatever. I guess, I don't know. So, and nobody else in my class wanted a manual. You know, a manual. They all wanted automatic, so they put me in this one because it's a 10-speed, and I fucking hate 10 speeds, but whatever. I'd rather have a 13 or an 18. 10 speeds are junk, man. You know, if you like a 10, that's fine. You know, you're an idiot. No, I'm just joking. You know, a 13 just has so much more versatility when it comes to like pulling hills. You can keep it in the perfect range where your torque is and all that good shit. You know, and the 10, you got to drop a whole fucking gear, man. That's 500 RPM. You know, that's a huge drop, dude. So you lose a shitload of speed. You know, you can't downshift as good to keep the exact right speed you want on that hill, you know, shit like that. So, whatever. You know, if you don't know how to drive a 13, take some lessons. It's way better. Or an 18. I mean, it's the same thing, just the 18, you can split the lower gears too, which comes in handy if you haul heavy shit all the time. But anyway, another good thing I like about their trucks is they all have the same engine. You know, the automatics are not. They all run Cummins, okay? And, you know, if you don't like Cummins, whatever, that's your prerogative. But the reason why they do it is because they're all the same, okay? So that, you know, they don't have some trucks with pack car engines, which are fucking junk. They don't have some trucks with Detroits. They don't have some trucks with Cummins or some trucks with, you know, whatever. They all have the same engines in them. I mean, they're different. Some of them are like different horsepower ratings, but they're all about the same, like 450 to 470, which, you know, whatever. If I bought a truck, it'd be 500 or more with 1,800 foot-pounds of torque. This one's 450 with 1,700 foot-pounds of torque, which is enough. It's not bad. I mean, I'm in Virginia now. I just went through West Virginia yesterday, through the West Virginia Turnpike, which is really, you know, up and down, 5% grades or more, and it wasn't bad. You know, the 10 speed's what kills it. You know, if it was a 13 speed, it'd be a hell of a lot better. Oh, my reefer just kicked back on. It's on cycle century right now at minus 10 degrees because I got frozen shit. Oh, what was I gonna say? Yeah, basically the 10 speed's what kills it. So, you know, whatever. If it wasn't for if it was a 13 speed, it'd be a hell of a lot easier to pull hills and whatnot. So, what was I gonna say? I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, so I went through orientation. If anybody has any questions about the orientation, let me know. Got my first load. This one's going from, I'm not going to tell you exactly where it's going to, but it was coming from, because that's a security issue. I don't think anybody jacked me, but who knows? You know, you never know. They don't want you doing that, so. I don't want to do that either. But it's going from a cold plate distribution center in it was Massillon, Ohio, down to South Carolina. So it was like 490 something loaded miles, 116 empty. So yeah, that was my first load. And I guess what my fleet manager is going to try to do is he's going to get me, he's going to run me a little bit, but try to get me home here in the next week so I can get all the rest of my stuff on the truck. And then within the next 2 or 3 weeks, they got to get me to Minnesota to get this truck swapped out for a new one. So I'm hoping that happens pretty quick because this truck is, I hate Freightliner. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're good trucks. You know, if you want a lot of room inside, and sorry, I keep looking at the screen, but if you want a lot of room inside and, you know, everything else, they're not bad. They're just, to me, they're throwaway trucks. They ride like crap compared to, you know, Peterbilt or Kenworth or whatever. You know, they're all plastic. You know, they're just, The interior looks like asshole, you know, it's just cheap as shit. You know, it's like driving a base model Honda Accord, you know, when you could be driving a Peterbilt or Kenworth, which is like a, you know, a Lexus or some shit, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's fucking junk, man. The seats suck, uncomfortable as hell, makes my tailbone hurt all day. You know, my Peterbilt, dude, I could ride 11 hours straight if I wanted to with the factory seats, man. It was good to go. So, you know, these Freightliner seats are shit. So, anyhow, the one good thing about them, though, Freightliners, is when you're new, a Freightliner is an awesome truck because they're so much easier to back up because the doors on these things are freaking huge. If anybody's new, I mean, they almost open 90 degrees, right? And the windows are huge, you know what I mean? And I got my shade closed right now because the sun's beating down right there. So I got my APU going. If you can see the key moving, it's because the air's, you know, going and shit. I love an APU, man. Get with a company that has an APU. Because not having an APU, and no company wants you to sit there and idle your truck, okay? And if you're sitting there idling it every day, all day, they're going to start bitching at you. So if you don't want to be super hot when it's hot outside, right now it's actually pretty nice outside, but yeah, I got an APU, I'm going to leave it running. Because if I turn it off, it's going to be 90 degrees in there, you know what I mean? And there's so many flies and shit around here, I don't want to sit here with my windows open. I mean, it's ridiculous. A lot of bull haulers, cattle haulers pull in here and take their break on the way through. And it fucking stinks here, and there's fucking, I mean, I'm not saying anything against the bull haulers because, you know, they need to see two of them right there. I'm not saying anything against them, you know, because we need them, you know. But I'm saying the flies, because it stinks, there's flies fucking everywhere. You know, not like normal truck stops don't stink. They smell like fucking piss, big stale piss because people are lazy as fuck. You know, don't get me wrong, I'll do it if I really have to go and I can't make it to the truck stop, or I can't make it to some grass, you know. But when so many people just piss in the parking lot, that shit don't have anywhere to go, dude. It don't soak into concrete, you know, or blacktop. It just sits there, and it fucking stinks. So, whatever. Anyway, don't even get me started on that shit. But anyway, what else was I gonna say? So yeah, so far so good. The reason I'm sitting here right now is because my load, it was late. Whoever was supposed to pick it up canceled, or they couldn't make it for some reason. So I picked it up late. There was a preloaded trailer, so that didn't matter. But since I picked it up late, they had to reschedule the appointment for delivery, and it's not until like 6:45 today, 6:45 p.m. or 18:45 if you look at the military time. And I'm only 3 hours away, and it's like 1 o'clock. So, and it's a Walmart DC. I'm not gonna tell you where, but it's a Walmart DC, and they're complete idiots when it comes to being on time. If you're more than like a half hour early, they'll kick you out and they'll fine you. Some of them, I don't know if all of them do, but I know some of them will charge the company a fine for getting there early, which is stupid. And if you're there late, they'll fine you also, which is another stupid ass thing. You know, if the carriers would just stop paying the fines and say, okay, fine, we'll take the freight somewhere else, you know, they wouldn't do that. But since, you know, these big companies just don't care, you know, if it was me and I showed up, you know, half hour late because I had a blowout or something, and they said they're going to fine me $150 to $500, whatever it is, I'd call the damn broker or whoever I got the load from, be like, dude, find somewhere else to take it. It ain't going here. So I ain't paying this shit. You want to pay it? Cut me a con check, but I'm not paying it. You know, that's bullshit. I understand if it's the driver's fault or something stupid like that. You know, they'd be pissed. But dude, shit happens in trucking, man. You know what I mean? You can't always be on time, and there's not always somewhere to park. You know, so you try to get there on exactly around the time you want to be there. But dude, sometimes you got to get there early. You know, or if you get there early because you know thought it would take a little longer. You know, it's not like these places are in the middle of nowhere, so you can't just, you know, you can't just park anywhere, you know what I'm saying? So, whatever, I don't know. So, that's all. I just wanted to give everybody an update. If anybody has any questions about J&R Schugel, so far, I mean, I'm not an expert, I just started here. If anybody has any questions, I'll try to answer them. you know, but I'm gonna try to keep the videos coming. The only reason I didn't do a video on orientation is I wanted to show off their yard too, so like see what the Columbus yard looked like. But man, I felt so bad because my sinus infection started the second day of orientation, and then like the second night. And by the time I woke up the third day, I was just like, you know, felt like crap. So whatever. But yeah, anyway, so that's about it, guys. You know, I'd give you a tour of the truck, but I ain't standing here permanently, so I haven't put anything away or nothing like that. It looks like shit in there. I just got all my bags thrown off to the side and up on the top bunk, and you know, I'm just gonna live out of my bags until I get rid of this truck. So I'm not about to unpack everything, get this truck all set up how I want it, and then swap trucks, you know, 2 or 3 weeks later, because that's a pain in the ass. So anyway, you know, that's it. So see y'all later, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask.